Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we have an Aristone clock radio. I've worked on this before last year. I think it's video number 108. Works beautifully, the radio side of it, but the clock wasn't working and it had a stripped gear in it. On Sunday we had an auction at the HRSA. That was the 25th of July this year. And I picked up a very, very crusty, disgusting, oil-covered Chrysler clock radio. And surprisingly, the radio works. I don't know how, but it works. And it works quite well. But the clock in it, I couldn't get running, and it was going to be a direct swap. So I took it apart, and lo and behold, the stripped gear in the Aristone was perfect in this clock radio. So I've taken it apart and put the new shaft in with the gear on it. So that's what this video is about. So I hope you'll stick around and watch it. I'm getting lots of new subscribers, so thank you very much for that. And of course, make sure you watch it right through to get my viewing hours up. And yeah, if you don't subscribe already, do so. I'm back on the Aristone clock radio, and yesterday I went to the HRSA auction down in Melbourne and picked up a very extremely crusty clock radio, which is a Chrysler from the mid-1950s. I've had to do it out in the garage because it was so bad. I might show you the case later, but yeah, it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty bad. It's probably one of the worst radios I've ever had. And I've taken the clock out and tried to get the motor running, but the motor won't run. This is really rusted up and completely had it. Even the vinyl on the front here is, or the cardboard or whatever it is, I think it might be cardboard or plastic. Maybe it's it is vinyl. Yeah, that's all come up and everything like that. So that's no good. Yeah, this is pretty bad. However, the good news is, actually the radio did work, just needs a really good clean. However, I did manage to get this out of it, which is the part I'm after for the Aristone, and this cog here, around here, is in perfect condition. In fact, it feels like new. So I've taken that right out of the clock, as you can obviously see. And the next task is to do the same with this one. And I won't be doing this on camera because it's just too hard. So we've got all our, the transformer's still loose from when I was working on it last time, and you have to really force the clock out from the front plate. Otherwise you have to take all the dial string and everything like that off, and that is, well, it's not the hardest one, but it's pretty messy. Goes right down underneath the chassis and sort of up the side and all over the place. So I'm about to do that now. The Stream Deck is just a pain in the backside at the moment. It's, yeah, not working at all. Yeah, so well, I've got it working, but it just won't automatically start. You've got to go and fiddle around with it and restart the machine, the computer, about 5 times, and yeah. So we'll see how we go with that. I've got the clock sort of detached from the faceplate. I'm not going to unsolder anything. Don't think I need to anyway. So this is going to be awkward. Let's see if I can turn it over. Yeah, I might be able to get away with that, with leaving this on, because I have to take the motor out, which is a real nuisance. And yeah, actually I just need to take this brass plate off. This plate off. And the motor should just come off in one piece. There's a nut right down underneath here, which is really hard to get to. And I should be able to turn it over. There is a little, where did I put that? Where did I go? Anyway, the rod sits across that. Those two uprights there. That's actually got a piece welded into it. A little tiny pin. And that's where one spring goes to. And the other end slots into this recess down here. I don't know whether you can see that. Oh, yep. Against a bit of contrast. There we go. So it's just slots in there, and there's a little spring which, and an upright, which goes into that hole there, and yeah, holds that into place, that shaft. So I'm going to do that now. This is going to be pretty fiddly, getting into there. Yeah. Okay, so we'll be back after I've pulled that apart, and we'll see how we go from there. Right, the nuts are off. So this will be tricky. Don't know whether I can actually lift this off in one piece. Feels like I can. Yeah, just, yeah. Whether the wire is going to let me do that. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to disconnect the buzzer here. So I'll be back once I've done that. Okay, now that was a real struggle. This piece of wire was sort of wrapped around about 20 times. So yeah. It was probably not the best people doing these things.
Okay. Now, I don't, yeah. So, okay. Now, this is where the spring is supposed to be attached, but there's no spring attached. Now, I haven't taken this apart this far before. Now, let's see if we can get this out without removing the motor. No. I'm going to have to take the motor off as well, which isn't too bad. This looks quite a different motor actually. It's got a different, oh no. This has got sort of a fan type one, and this one seems to just have a solid. Okay, I'll clean this up and remove the motor, which is pretty easy. There's just 4 screws, but there's only 2 in there. So the motor's removed, and this is pretty oily. So I'll grab a bit of paper towel. And we'll see if we can get this out. That might actually sit round there to stop it. Yeah. And I'd say actually that is probably why this is worn in the first place, because it's sort of worn on a funny angle. And that doesn't look very straight. Yeah. So this axle across here, or shaft, isn't straight. Sort of got a bit of a bow in the middle of it. Yeah, okay. So we'll just take this out. Somehow or another. Don't tell me it's fixed in at the end. No. Why isn't this coming out? Of course it just falls out, doesn't it? So I doubt you'll be able to see on the camera. You might be able to if I bring it close enough. Yeah. Don't know whether you can see, but the lower one is the worn one. And the upper one is the good one. Can I get any closer? Yep. Yeah. Really see the difference. Yeah. Okay, so we'll try putting this one in. And we'll see how that goes. I think that goes that way. Yep. That slots in nicely. That goes across there like so. This comes around here. And this needs to be really tight. Stop that moving. Right, so what I have to do is clean all these cogs up down in here. Just a little bit of cleaning. So they've got big lumps of grease on them. Yeah, should be able to clean that up quite easily. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, after a bit of a struggle, well, not much of a struggle really, I've actually got it working, and seems to be working really well. This is the new old stock one which I have, or I've got two of these actually, but as I've previously said, I don't want to use this in another radio unless I absolutely have to. I want to use this in an AWA type one. Yeah, I don't know whether you better see, because I can't actually touch anything here, but yeah, it's working. Actually, what I might do is just lie it down so you can see the motor spinning. Yeah, it's all back together again. It was a bit of a fiddle in some respects, but it was just a matter of lining up the cog pins with the top brass plate. So I don't know whether you can see that spinning. Oh yeah, just. So it is working, and it is seems to be moving all the gears. This is a much simpler mechanism than the other two, or the one I took the dome apart from, and this one. It's the base. This is exactly the same mechanism, but it's got a few things which aren't connected for some reason. I don't know, without pulling this apart or the other one apart. This has actually got, has this got the switch on it? Yeah. So yeah, this is the other one. So yeah, be careful here. That's, yeah. But yeah, it seems to be a much, maybe on other clocks somewhere around the world or something. I don't know, but yeah. So they did modify it quite a bit over the time. But this one is more akin to this one, and this is a lot more complicated wire-wise. Okay, so I'm going to put the hands on it and run it for a couple of minutes just to see that it is turning in the right direction and everything like that. It should be, because I haven't disconnected any of that. I've just disconnected the buzzer. It's just a solenoid and it vibrates a piece of metal. So okay, I'll turn this off, and yeah, I'll see how we go. So it is working, and I don't think it originally had a second hand, but yeah, so that the second hand is off of the Chrysler, and that is getting very close to that. So we'll just move this out the way. It's settling down. Yep, that's not going short out there. So I'll leave it for maybe half an hour or so, and then I'll come back. Right, so yeah, this is the cabinet came in, and yeah, it's pretty disgusting, and it has been blown out a bit, or knocked out. I've had a look at the speaker and it's probably not salvageable. You can see there's mould on it and everything like that. We've got, that's interesting, it's sort of this burgundy colour down here. Yeah, that's from the speaker. Yeah, that is really probably had it. The back, yeah, it's really, I've never seen one so discoloured. So it's been probably in a really heavy smoker's house. So yeah, it's sort of more a white colour. So that is pretty bad. And this is the chassis, which somehow or another surprisingly works. Look at all that mould or whatever it is down there. And it's sort of covered in all these white spots, yeah, on the mains transformer. It's pretty ghastly. And interestingly, this has got the power switch on it to turn on your kettle or whatever you have beside the bed in the morning for a cup of tea. So I'll definitely keep that. But yeah, it must have been recapped because it's got all mustard caps in it. Yeah, interesting. Even the radio dial's got some muck on it. Anyway, I'm going to take this outside again and really scrub my hands. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm really surprised it's working. This has been running for almost an hour now, and it seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. No fire and flame. That's what I was trying to say. No fire and flame. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pop it back together again, and yeah. So it looks like a successful purchase yesterday and successful transplant today.
So they will get themselves together again for take two.
Well, it's all back together and working. Yeah, it was a bit of a fiddle to reassemble it. And it's still not sitting quite correctly in the cabinet. I've got to find some proper screws. These knobs were like this when I bought it. Also, I've just noticed that the tuning dial is out. So yeah, so it's up 3XY and it should be down around about between 3GL and 3AW.
290 number 3 the Irishman, and 550 number 7 Tough Tiger.
For this station anyway, there's 3BA, or the former 3BA. Radio works very well, given how simple it is. It's not going to pick anything up in here, is it? No. Yeah, there's too much interference here. think that's Radio National.
0.4% of 8,690.
That's 3LO or 774, and it should be down here, and it's up here. Yeah, and I did notice that the transformer was putting out a lot of heat too, but I'm only really going to run it for the clock, if at all. So it's more of a display piece because it does look very nice. Actually, I might... No, wait. No. I was thinking of using it on the desk behind me, but it's a bit big for that. So, okay. Right, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for, well, being a channel member if anybody decides to join. And, yeah. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon. I've got quite a few other things which I bought down in Melbourne yesterday, and yeah, they all work, unfortunately. So there's nothing much to fix, although I will have to go through everything and replace a lot of components. Okay, so goodbye.